you guys can see for the title. Today we're doing Pan That Palette 2022. Now, if you saw my Pan That Palette 2022 last year and then my update that I just recently did, you are fully aware of what it is that this entails for me. It is completely different from your typical Pan That palette because I cannot commit to one palette for a very long time. I think the most I've been able to commit to a palette is like 45 days and then that's it. That's it. I get bored, and I'm done. So I have here my 13 palettes. Keeping in tradition with last year, I'm just going to do 13 palettes again this year. But first, if you're new, Alejandra, I go by Alex, eyeshadow enthusiast with a Dutch Project Pan. If that is something you want to continue to see on your feed, subscribe and join us. And now let's get on with this video. All right, for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, I can put last year's up in the iCard so you guys can see what palettes I chose for last year and the update of those. So I will have that up in the iCards for you. But basically, my version of Pan That palette is I choose 13 palettes that I want to concentrate on for the full year. So basically for 2013, I want to concentrate on these eyeshadow palettes, whether it's organically reaching for them on my own or putting them in project pans if it allows me to be able to hit more pans or a pan in these palettes. These are palettes that I have been thinking about this specific past year and I want to add more love to them. So I'm excited. I have a nice array of drugstore indie brand. Yeah, I don't think I have any mainstream in this one. No, I do not. So let's get into it, shall we? Now these are in no particular order and I am not specifically choosing an eyeshadow specifically in this video. It's just organically how it falls throughout the year and what it is that I'm looking for or what it is that I'm needing. So I don't choose a specific shadow, I just choose the palette itself and let the whole system work itself out throughout the year. So the first palette I want to hit pan on at least one shadow is the Maybelline The Matte Bar, this palette right over here. I decided to keep this palette because I was debating on letting it go, but the quality is so nice that I don't want to. My only gripe is the actual pans themselves, how they look like, but I think I can hit pan. My goal is to at least hit one pan. If I can get more than that, that's fine, but show that I like this palette, right? At least give it some love. So this is the first palette I'm bringing in. Then we have another one. Remember this one? This is the Soda Pop by Maybelline. I really do like the color story of this one. And I feel like this is going to be an easy one to hit pan on because the palette, the shades themselves are shallow, but I can see myself still reaching for these in this time of year. Like this is more winter, this is more fall. So I gotta put my tushish into gear and start trying to hit pan on some of these. So this is another palette I want to at least hit one pan in. The other Maybelline one is this one. This is the Lemonade Craze. All three of these palettes that I'm sharing with you guys are no longer in production, but I want to show these more love. This is more of like a spring summer palette, and because I don't use a lot of shadows in the summertime because it's just way too hot and everything melts out of your face, I like to use a lighter face. This would be perfect because these shades are a lot lighter, a lot more springier, more fresh on the eye. So I'm hoping to reach this for more and be able to hit pan on this one as well. Here we go, Citrine, a Profusion Citrine. Now, I have used this palette and I fell in love with it. I'm so happy I did not declutter this one before I got use out of it. I only own two Profusion ones and the other one is the green one and that already has two pans in it. So I want this one to have some pan in it as well. This is beautiful to mix in with this time of year with the oranges and the reds and as well as the spring summertime. And I don't, from what I've done with the emerald one, it's not that hard to hit pan on these. So I'm hoping to at least hit one, maybe two pans. We'll see how I do with this one, but I want to show this one again. All right, this one. I worked so hard on this one this past year and I was not able to hit pan on any of these. This is the Essence Never Give Up Your Daydream. This is a palette that's no longer in production as well. It is all these duochrome pastel shades. This is my palette to highlight my inner corner with. Whenever I don't have an inner corner highlight, this is what I like to use. I don't know how deep these pans are, but if you see some of these have a decent dip in them because it's all that I use them for is inner corner highlights. I don't know which one I'm gonna hit pan on. The one that has the most usage are these two right here. So maybe those, I don't know. The one that has the least amount of usage is this blue one, but I love these. I love these as inner corner highlights. So I want this to have pan in it because I do reach for this a ton. I'm shocked that I still don't have pan in this one. A ton. Okay, you guys, I have to show these more love. The BH Cosmetics, the Blueberry Muffin. This is one of my favorite blue toned palettes, if not my favorite top blue toned palettes. I really need to show, like these palettes from BH, none of the ones that I own have any pan at them at all. And I want to change that this coming up year. So this one, let's try to hit pan on it. This will be perfect for the January, end of December, coming in December, January is where I would really like to concentrate on this one. And it doesn't have a lot of blue where I don't see myself not being able to reach for this one. So Blueberry Muffin, I'm coming for you. As well as the avocado toast. Avocado toast. This is so pretty. And this one, again, I can use this right now. I can use this in the spring. I can use this in the summer. So pan, I need to show pan. These are ones that I wanted to reach for this year, but I just didn't get the opportunity with so many project pans. But now I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I don't know. So excited for this one. Alrighty, you guys. So this one might be a surprise to some of you guys because I did declutter this one and tried to sell it. And I technically sold it twice, but a whole thing happened. So it ended up staying with me. Not by choice of my own, but I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to keep it because it's just not working out. So something to do with the seller. So anyway, this is still in my collection. This is the Blush Tribe Blossom palette. Now, they are no longer in existence, but this is the only palette I still have left from Blush Tribe. And since it's going to stay with me, I'm not intending on selling it anymore. It's just too... There's a whole thing about it. So anyway, I'm not selling it. So I might as well get some use out of it instead of having it sit in my collection and hit pan on one of these. I don't know which one. It's a beautiful palette. The quality isn't the best, but it is manageable, and I can see myself, because it is a sheer formula, being able to use it and not having to feel like it's too colorful. So let's try to hit pan on some of these. And yes, this palette is gently used. I may have used it only a few shades of these, but not much. So we are going to try to hit pan on that one. All right, we're moving on to bigger palettes. First and foremost, I love this brand for their formula, especially their shimmery formulas. I just love them. So we need to hit pan on more of these. This is the Beauty Bay New Romantic. This is no longer in existence, and it's a shame because this was one of my favorites that they came out with. Look how pretty that is. This screams Valentine's Day. It screams the springtime when all these flowers come up, and even summer. You guys can clearly see that this has been loved. I've used this one quite a bit. I have loved on this one a ton. I want to hit pan on one of these palettes or one of these shadows. Now, this past year, without me trying the Book of Magic, it doesn't even have a year yet in my collection, and I ended up hitting 2 pans in that palette. So let's see if I can repeat that with this palette. I think this one has a dip in it. This one has a nice dip in it. This one has a nice dip in it. This one has a nice dip in it. So let's see which one will have pan in here. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. The other one, I had to throw this one in here, you guys. I love this one. This is my favorite Beauty Bay palette, period. And I do have a pan in it because I love it so much, which is this one right here. That is a recent pan. I want to hit another pan in here somewhere. Somewhere over the rainbow. I don't know which one. The beauty of it is I could still wear this right now in the fall and in the wintertime without looking too out of place for me. So yeah, let's see if I can try to hit pan on another one of these. So this one's coming in. 2 more palettes, you guys. 2 more palettes. I have loved on this palette for so long. I have used this palette so much, and it looks like I have done nothing. Looks like I have done nothing at all, you guys. This palette is one of my favorite, if not my favorite ColourPop palette that they've done besides Good Sport. Good Sport is up there with this one. There are certain palettes that ColourPop does do that I'm just all over, and then they just screw themselves over by redoing crap over and over and over. But this is one of my favorites. I did take out the glitters out of here just because One, it gets all over the other shadows. Two, I like to keep them separate. And if the kids want to use them for arts and crafts, they're more than welcome to as well. But I love this. I love this palette. And I've used this so much and it looks like I've done nothing. So I want that to change. And hopefully I'll be able to hit pan on this one. And last but not least, I had to throw this in here. I am kind of sad because I don't know if they're going to come out with one this year, because by now we would have seen it, honestly. And it looks like they may not, and that's because they were sold. And last year I put in their previous year holiday palette, so I figured let's bring in last year's holiday palette. I feel like this is nostalgic because this was the last holiday palette without us knowing that it would have been their last holiday palette. So this is from BH Cosmetics, you guys. And I love this palette. It's so beautiful. It does have a glitter in here, but the rest of the palette is just gorgeous, gorgeous. So I want to hit pan on at least one of these shades. Plus Misty has hit a ton of pan on this palette, and I do want to at least have one pan, at least one pan. Give me one pan. So I don't know, I'm kind of sad because I don't think BH will be coming out with another holiday one. And if they do, I don't know if the quality will be just as good as this one and the previous one. They were on a roll. They really were on a roll. This is why they shouldn't have been doing so many collab makeup. They could have been still here with us. Anyway, you guys, these are all of the palettes that I am going to be concentrating on. This is my version of Pan That Palette. Let's see how many pans I can hit. This past year, I did rather well for myself. I'm very shocked. So I'm hoping to at least hit my goal, keep it even, or maybe a little bit more. Some of these formulas are going to be tough to pan. I did not choose these palettes specifically for the depth of their shadows or the formula of the actual palette. I chose these because these are the palettes that either one I've been thinking about for a long time, so ones that I've been reaching for this past year that I really want to show more love to, or palettes that I just know I should have pan on and buy now, and I don't, and I really, really should. So these are not in any way am I choosing them, oh, because it's going to be easy to hit pan on, so I know I'm going to get, no, that's not how I do this. I do this because I love these palettes and I want them to be shown more love. So that is it, you guys. Let me know what you guys think of this. I'm having fun with this. Are you guys having fun? I'm enjoying it. I'll put more videos on the screen for your enjoyment. Until then, adios.